Lexi Lounder. Kaylee Prococo. Maddie Pesto. Alexis Godley. Congratulations to the Keene seniors, and good luck in your upcoming year at college or whatever you might be doing. Congratulations again and thank you. Now we can have everyone head back to your dugout for the introduction of the Goffstown High School seniors. I'm going to turn the mic over to Keene, who will be doing the Goffstown seniors.
Welcome, Goffstown High School seniors and their families. When your name is announced, please walk out to the pitcher's mound with your family members and designated teammate to hear your teammate's message and take pictures. Then please proceed to the outfield grass line. Abby Blanchard, escorted by her parents, Bob and Casey, brother and sister Carter and Zoe, and her dog Remy. Abby Blanchard is a 4-year Goffstown High School softball player and is planning to attend NHTI in the fall. She is an amazing teammate on and off the field, consistently supporting all of her teammates with a good attitude. Abby always has a smile on her face, and her positivity is truly inspiring. We will all miss her next year, but we wish you the best in college and can't wait to see all of the great things that you accomplish in the future. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication over the past 4 years. Love, Finley. Riley Boucher, escorted by her parents, Andrew and Jessica Brewer. Riley is a 3-year varsity softball player who will be continuing her academics at the University of New Hampshire. I met Riley when I was playing for our middle school team in 7th grade. Even then, Riley was an outgoing and caring person who always made sure I felt included. Even now, 5 years later, Riley continues to care for and look after every player on the team. Riley, words cannot begin to describe how truly grateful I am to have had the honor of knowing you. Your energy and outgoingness is infectious, and I can't help but laugh and smile when I'm around you. There will be such a large hole next year that will be impossible to fill. You will always have a home here at Goffstown High School. We wish you all the best, and we cannot wait to see what you accomplish. With nothing but love, Justin. Sophia Derry, escorted by her parents, Mark and Kim, sisters Samantha, and nenes Jean and Jolene. Sophia is a 3-year varsity player here at GHS and one of the captains for the 2025 season. She will be attending Western New England College in Springfield, Mass, and playing D3 softball. Your commitment to the team has been so inspiring, and I've watched you grow as an athlete and a leader. You never fail to put a smile on anyone's face, and you always know how to cheer someone up. Your time in the softball field has been marked with so many memories, whether it was an amazing defensive play or hit, or the amount of support you have provided to each and every one of us. You have demonstrated what it means to be a true team player, and you inspire me. Your hard work on this field and perseverance has set such high standards in such amazing ways, and your impact to this team will be appreciated and cherished forever. Thank you for never failing on what it means to be a true athlete and friend, for always being there and always being yourself. I wish you all the best for your future, and I'm so glad I got to be on this team with you, and will always cherish our memories. I will miss you so much next year, and wish you the best for all the years to come. Love, Casey. Ari Gerzons, escorted by her parents, Tim and Melissa, and sisters Addie and Gabby. Ari has played for the varsity softball team for all 4 years of her time in Goffstown. But when she isn't playing softball, she is also playing soccer, where she has also been on the varsity team since a freshman. This coming fall, Ari is headed down to play Division II soccer at Eckerd College in Florida. She is majoring in international business. Ari is a hardworking and dedicated person in everything she does. She puts her teammates and peers in front of herself and is always there for people. It has truly been an honor to be able to watch Ari grow into such an amazing athlete, leader, and person, and I am so excited to see and hear about your next upcoming chapter in Eckerd. We all wish you the very best of luck. You will be greatly missed in every aspect here at Goffstown. We love you, Ari. Love Addie and Gabby. Our team manager, Emmy Molina, escorted by her father, Dennis Molina. This year, our softball team has the privilege to have Emmy as our manager. Emmy will be continuing her education at the University of New Hampshire. Although she was only our manager for 1 year, Emmy showed the dedication of someone who had been with us for years. Emmy's kindness and compassion is undeniable, and she deserves nothing but the best that life has to offer. Emmy, your kindness and willingness to help others will lead to so much success in your future, and I am absolutely certain that you will continue to do great things after your time at Goffstown High School is over. I hope that you will have so much fun and make so many fantastic memories at college. Although we will miss you dearly, we are so excited to see everything that you will accomplish. Thank you for all you have done. Love, Jocelyn. Mackenzie Oliver, escorted by her parents, Brad and Christine. Mackenzie Oliver is a kind and passionate person as well as teammate. Mackenzie has been playing softball for many years and has been part of the Goffstown softball program for 3 years. The way she encourages and supports her teammates and brings positivity to the team not only makes us all better softball players, but also better individuals. While I know she's going to continue to do great things in London, where she will be attending college, Mackenzie will be greatly missed, and the team will not be the same without you. Love, Addie. Sophie Roussel, escorted by her parents, Jeff and Melanie, sister Emma, and Granny and Papa. Sophie is a 4-year varsity softball and volleyball athlete and one of our captains for the 2025 season. She will be attending Assumption University this upcoming fall, majoring in pre-medical sciences with a concentration in pre-dental, where she will also continue her softball career at the Division II level. Soph began playing softball at the age of 8, consistently motivating and inspiring those around her. Throughout the years at Goffstown, she has hit major milestones on and off the field, including her 200th strikeout, along with her 1,000th assist on the court. I've been extremely lucky these past couple of years to have gotten so close to Soph and been able to make many memories together. I'll always cherish our long talks, inside jokes, and most importantly, how we could completely be ourselves around each other. I knew I could always count on you to make me laugh or put a smile on my face. Her heart and smile highlights who she is as a person, leaving a lasting impression on everyone she meets. As the season progressed, I began looking forward to practices and games. She became a constant light through every high and low, always knowing how to bring out the best side of me. I will always miss being a part of her 4 hugs each day, as it was one of my favorite parts. I can honestly say Soph has the biggest heart out there, and I cannot wait to see what she does with her bright future ahead of her. Although our time together has been cut short, I will never forget the bond we created and the memories we made. Soph's unwavering support and dedication towards the team dynamic will truly be irreplaceable. Know you'll always have a home here at Goffstown, no matter where life takes you. We wish you the best in upcoming years, and don't forget to come back and visit. Love, Emma. Dana Still, escorted by her parents Lee and Gina, sister Reese, and grandparents Grandma and Grandpa Still. Dana is a four-year varsity softball player and plans to attend Suffolk University after she graduates to play Division III softball. I have been lucky enough to watch Dana play softball since rec, and I can confidently say that she has never changed. She is outgoing, crazy, and the star of the show. From watching her play, you can clearly tell her love for the sport, and she is a player who makes the game fun to watch. She immediately makes people feel welcome and fit right in, and you can always count on her to crack a joke or lighten the mood, even when she shouldn't be. When someone's down, she will do whatever it takes to bring them back up. Her energy is unmatched and will be missed like crazy next year. I'm going to miss playing with you and cracking up all the time. You're the light onto the team and impossible to ever be mad at. Don't ever change and continue to be the unhinged person that you are. As you move on to the next chapter of your life, we wish you all the best, and we'll always be cheering for you. You left a lasting legacy and a spot that could never be filled. We'll always be proud to call you a Goffstown softball player. Suffolk is so lucky to have you, and we know you're going to do amazing things. Thank you, Dana, for being such an amazing player, teammate, and friend. We're going to miss you so much. Congrats. Love, Brooke.
Nice job.
We're going to have some photo ops for a moment here, and then once all of that is done, I'm going to have both teams to line up around the respective foul line for the introduction of the players. Keene. Number 10, playing center field, Kaylee Procopo. Number 4, playing shortstop, Lexi Lounder. Number 7, Maddie Pesco, catching. Number 8, playing first base, Ashlyn Fay, play Maddie. Number 3, your designated player, Andrea Pearsall. Number 6, playing third base, Alexis Yardley. Number 11, Janet Pearsall. Number 2, playing left field, Elise Pratt. Number 1, playing second base, Olive Thatcher. Number 12, your flex player, playing right field, Abby Bergman. Team is coached by Peter Yearling, assisted by Harold Farrington and Jeff Booth. And now your starting lineup for the Goffstown Grizzlies. Number 1, catching, Ari Strazone. Number 11, playing second base, Brooke Leclerc. Number 10, playing shortstop, Emma Leclerc. Number 2, playing center field, Dana Still. Number 5, playing third base, Sophia Derry. Number 16, in the circle, Sophie Roussel. Number 12, playing first base, Riley Boucher. Number 19, playing left field, Abby Blanchard. And number 6, Mackenzie Oliver, playing right field. Goffstown is coached by Tim Grisone, Kim Leclerc, assisted by Tim Grisone. Thank you.
Doing the national anthem now?
You want to do that now?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any music. You ready? Yeah. All right. We ask that everybody please rise and we honor America and all those who have served it, who are past and present, for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you.
We love the children. We've cut that tree down.
What tree?
You did a good job of getting the screen and fence. Look at that one. Holy moly.
Frank,
And welcome everyone to Goffstown High School for a Division I softball matchup between the Goffstown Grizzlies and the visitors from Keene, the Blackbirds from Keene, on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon as we wind down the softball season, and the Grizzlies are in really good position to get a favorable bracket position should they win out here. So I think that's kind of the goal. It is senior day here in Goffstown, one of my favorite days of the year. And you'll see the, I don't know if Jeff can pan around here on the numbers on the outfield fence, but these are the senior athletes, and we'll talk about them throughout the broadcast today. So the Grizzlies come in with a 12-4 record, and again, like I said, I think they're positioned like fourth right now, which would be good. It gives them two home field games should that stay true. So in the batter's box will step in Kaylee Percoco, and she will face a formidable pitcher in Roussel. And here we go, first pitch of the game. And that's in there for strike one. Percoco had a good rip on it. Infield for Goffstown is playing in. That would be Boucher at first and Derry at third. So we got a 1-1 count. Emma LeClaire playing short, and Brooke LeClaire playing second base. Ari Garzone behind the plate, and that is hit to second base. Underhand toss, and that executes the first out of the inning.
Next up for Keene, number 4, playing shortstop, Lexi Launder.
So Lexi Launder steps in. Shortstop for the Blackbirds. Again, Derry is playing about 5 steps in, guarding against a potential bunt. And that's a nice strike. Hit the top side of that corner. Outfield for the Grizzlies. Abby. Oh, attempted bunt. Did she pull back on that one? I don't know. It's questionable. They're going to call that a ball. 1-1 count. Oh. Tad bit low on that one. 2-1 count to number 4, Lexi Launder. Bit high, 3-1 count. Whoa. I say this every single broadcast. I do not understand why the batters warm up in that area. I think you warm up someplace else, but not there. I would practice hitting right where that gentleman is standing. It's a 3-2 count now to Launder. And that's a called strike 3 to Launder with 2 outs now in the top of the first inning.
Number 7, the catcher, Maddie Testo.
And the catcher steps in for the Blackbirds, Maddie Testo. Lefty. Off-speed pitch misses on that one in the dirt. It was a really nice Senior Day celebration here before the game. Hit to third. Long throw by Derry, and accurate throw as well. And she records the third out. So with that, the Blackbirds go down 1-2-3 as we head into the bottom of the first. All right, we're going to start the bottom of the first inning with Ari Gerzon stepping up to the plate. And Ari is one of the many seniors that will be graduating in about 3 weeks from Goffstown High School. She'll be going down to Eckerd College in Florida to play soccer. Going to wish her good luck and want to say thank you to the softball booster organization. What a really nice job they do each and every year, and make this a nice class operation, that is for sure. They make it a very special to play softball here at Goffstown. So I want to thank all those involved in the booster club. Jenna Persal is the pitcher for the Blackbirds, and she faces off against Gerzon, who's been hitting really well this year. Gerzon fouls that one off. Good speed coming in by Persal, and Goffstown's going to have to connect. You know, you heard Coach Gerzon talking about energy, and that ball sharply hit foul to third, and trying to get a couple of quick runs to get some momentum. Some argue that it's tough to play in these senior games because your mind is in a million places, and it's also post-prom season here. So sometimes the mental focus is a little bit more challenging for athletes this time of year. And that's sharply hit to first base, but nice job by the first baseman, number 8, Ashlyn Clay, who takes that unassisted. In steps Brooke LeClaire, playing second base for the Grizzlies. She takes a ball low. Outfield for the Blackbirds, playing about moderate depth at this point. And that's a hit by pitch. So LeClaire gets on. So now Emma LeClaire is playing shortstop with sister Brooke at first. And she takes an inside strike for, that was a good pitch. She fouls someone off. Quickly, it's an 0-2 count to Emma LeClaire. And her stance, like, she's pretty much on top of the plate. And she swings through that one for a strikeout. So we've got 2 outs with Dana Still, cleanup hitter, at the plate, and Dana's also had a good season hitting. That's a ball to Still. I like this umpire. He calls them loud. You do not have to be questioning what those decisions are. It's another one that's inside for a 2-0 count to Still. With Brooke LeClaire at first base, and any contact she'll be going with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. That one was tempting, but it's now a 3-0 count. That ball is hit to left field, and under it is the Blackbirds to retire the side. Dana Still gave that one a little bit of a ride, but she was about 10 feet short of a home run. So we're going to head to the top of the second inning with no score here at Goffstown High School. We'll be back soon. And we're back for action here in the top of the second inning. Ashlyn Clay, the first baseman. And she hits one to slow roll at a second over to first for the first out of the inning. That's another 4-3 put out. Good job by Brooke LeClaire. And in steps number 3, Andrea Persall. And she takes strike 1. Sell over to Boucher for the second out of the inning, and Alex Yardley. So Alexis Yardley steps in. She's playing third base today for the Blackbirds. Oh, she swings at one in the dirt. And Roussel is saying, I'll take that one. You know, I often wondered, I got Jeff Roussel, he's our camera person and does a nice job volunteering, and he is quite the snack guy, you know. He's very fit though. Like, so that's the thing. It's like he eats about 300 Pringles like every single game. I don't know if it's 300, but he eats quite a bit, like combos and Pringles. And speaking of the combos, I haven't had combos in a while, but what do you got? What flavor is this? Okay, cheddar. All right, I'm going to wait until I don't want to be announcing, and that's a strike. But I used to eat a lot of these combos, but the pizza-flavored ones, which I kind of like. All right, so Alexis Yardley. And that one just a bit high. You're right, Brad. We got a 2-2 count to Yardley. And that's it. So a second strikeout for Roussel. As we still are no score here at Goffstown High School as we head into the bottom of the second inning. And we're back at Goffstown High School with Sophia Derry stepping up to the plate. And we were just commenting before that she's had a really good year at third base. Very steady. She's got a very good arm, very accurate. And she's had some clutch hits throughout the season. So let's see what Derry can do here to lead off in the bottom of the second with no score. That's in there for a strike. So far for the Blackbirds, good pitching by Jenna Purcell. And Terry took a big rip at that one, but was a little late in the swing. She too is one of your seniors. In the dirt. With a 1-2 count to Derry, on deck is the pitcher, Sophie Roussel. Outfield's playing, and right field's playing a little short, I think. So it's a 2-2 count. The outfield here looks pretty good. A lot of rain in May. I think we had record rainfall in May. And that's a hit by pitch. So Derry gets on, we call that the hard way. Hit by a pitch, and in steps Sophie Roussel, the pitcher. Nice pitch. A 1 count. So fans want to test the catcher here on a ball's hit. That is a shallow ball. Nice catch by the right fielder, Abby Bergman. In steps number 12, Riley Boucher, also a senior. Fouled off by Boucher for an 0-2 count with Derry at first base. That's a good umpire, giving Boucher an opportunity to shake off that foul that she took. So we got an 0-2 count. That's in there for strike 3. Nice pitch. So we got 2 outs. So Blanchard steps in. She pops one up to the shortstop, and that is for out number 3 in the bottom of the second inning. So aside from that hit by pitch, no damage done as we go to the top of the third with still a 0-0 score. All right, here we are in the top of the third inning with number 11, the pitcher, at the plate. In there for a strike.
Number 11, the pitcher, Jenna Pearsall.
I think we've had some moves and defensively, too, while we stepped away. In the dirt. 1-1. So Addie Gerzone will be catching number 9. And Oliver is in left. Ari Gerzone is in center. And Dana still slides over to right field. Three-one count to the pitcher. That's right down the middle. 3-2 count. And that's a walk. Yep. So you don't see that every day. So number 23. So number 23 will be running for the pitcher. That's Cooper. And Elise Pratt steps to the plate, the left fielder, with a runner at first with no outs. Let's see if they put a look to bunt here. With your 8-hitter. Shows bunt. So Boucher charges in, as does Derry from third. And Brooke LeClaire, she slides over to first. And the shortstop has to cover second on the rotation. Good movement by the Grizzlies. Even Ari Gerzon, center field, is coming in for a potential overthrow to second. So you always want to see that. We got 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, top of the third inning, no score. Off speed, what a beauty that one was. 1-2 count now to Elise Pratt. That was a real nice pitch. That faked me out. A little high, 2-2 count. Right down the middle for strike 3. Nice recovery by Roussel there.
Now behind the plate for Goffstown, Eddie Guzon. Now batting for the Keene Blackbirds.
So Olive Thatcher steps in for the Blackbirds. Number 1, another left-hand batter. It's the second one they have in the lineup. That's a strike.
Now batting for the Blackbird is Olive Thatcher, second baseman.
So runner at first is Cooper with 1 out in the top of the third. Beautiful pitch. Strike 3. You know, I was just looking at Thatcher's hands and, like, they weren't together. So she's got to keep those hands together, make it easier on herself. So now the leadoff hitter steps in, Kaylee Percoco, and she grounded a second in her first at bat. Once again, Cooper is at first. And a foul ball to the first base side. So again, she swung a little late the first at bat. So if you got to pay attention, and if you're the shortstop, maybe even you inch over to second a little bit more. Nice pitch. And Percoco is way back in the box, which is smart. Ooh, she almost went for that one. But also a nice pitch because sometimes you chase those. That's a sharp line drive to center field. That's going to go to the fence. And see, this is sloppy play by the Grizzlies on that one. So, you got to bring the ball in, hit the cutoffs. And because you weren't able to hit your cutoffs, should have been runners at second and third there. But with that, on an error by the Grizzlies in the field, run scores. So Cooper scores on that play, and the Blackbirds take a 1-0 lead. So a double for Percoco, and she ends up on third with an error. And a nice put out by Emma LeClaire over to Boucher, but not without some damage done. The Blackbirds pick up a run, an unearned run, on a fielding error by the Grizzlies as we head into the bottom of the third inning with the Keene Blackbirds 1 and the Grizzlies 0. And leading off in the bottom of the third inning is Mackenzie Oliver, one of the few lefties in the lineup for the Grizzlies. And so far for the Grizzlies, the only way we've been able to get on base is a hit by pitch. It's in the dirt. On the on-deck area is Ari Gerzon. Also out low and outside, a 2-0 count to Purcell. From Purcell, I should say. That's in there for a strike. A 1-2 count. Very opportunistic for the Blackbirds in that top of the third inning as they scratched out a run on a nice double by Percoco. And Oliver swings through a high pitch for a 2-2 count. Fouled off, Brad. You got to keep your eyes open, all right? Because you never know what can come up this way. So we're joined up here by Emmy, who's, I didn't know she was a neighbor of mine until just now. And that's a strike three call. Looking is Oliver for the first out of the inning. And in steps Ari Gerzon, who grounded out to first base, her first at bat. And she bunts it foul out of play. But that's a good move as it brings the infield in. Or maybe not. Brought the third baseman in a tad bit. If not, first base is still playing back. And that is a hit by pitch again. That's her third hit by pitch. And speaking of hit by pitch, Brooke LeClaire was hit by a pitch in the top of the first inning. And let's just see if we're going to see any action here in terms of, you know, a bunt, steal, something to get some movement here. And Gerzon has pretty good speed. And she bunts it back to the pitcher, but she can't field it. So a successful bunt by Brooke LeClaire. And I don't know really how to really score that, because that's a base hit, I guess, but so now Emma LeClaire, she struck out in the first inning. 2 runners on, another bunt, but bunted foul. So we've got Emma LeClaire at the plate with Dana Still in the box, in the batter's box, in the on-deck circle, I'm sorry. And that's a 1-1 count, and Gerzon has taken a really aggressive lead at second base. So anything that looks remotely wild pitch or pass ball, I think Gerzon's going to third. And that is also a bunt to third. Over to first. It's a wild pitch, and that's going to manufacture at least 1 run. And they're going to be going, oh, she's caught. Oh, we got very lucky on that. The pitcher should have thrown back to third base, but a run scores nonetheless. So Gerzon comes in to score. So we got runners at second and third base with Dana Still at the plate. So again, bunting situations, and it forces the players to field the ball. And this situation, third base overthrown it to first, which scored a run. And that's a ball. So again, Still has, if she get the ball in play here, that could score a run. That's your goal right now, is to, that's high. I like that too, by Brooke LeClaire and Emma LeClaire taking very good leads. And again, it forces all of these players, especially your catcher, to pay attention. And that ball's grounded to third, but she couldn't hold on to it. So Brooke LeClaire scores on that one, and Emma LeClaire goes to third. So Goffstown takes a 2-1 lead now with a hit by Dana Still. Well, I don't know what's the official score on that one, Chef? Error? That's probably an error. That was an E5, and Still gets on first. So Emma LeClaire at third, Still at first on an error, and Sophia Derry is getting instructions from her coach at third, Tim LeClaire. Do you run if you're Still? I say yes. You got to give her a chance to steal second base, so I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. That was not a suicide squeeze. I think that was just not well executed. But again, you want to get Still into scoring position, and I don't think they're going to throw. So if they throw, you're going to likely score a run, but you got to let it happen. Wow, what an acrobatic move by Still to avoid the tag. Wow. And she's safe at second base, and in comes Emma LeClaire. So great base running by both Still and LeClaire. But I'll tell you, that was a pirouette move at second base. I didn't know she quite had the dance moves. So with that, Goffstown takes a 3-1 lead now in the bottom of the third inning. A lot of it manufactured on errors and wild throws. So Derry, she hits one to left field. Underneath it is the left fielder. And that is our second out of the inning. Still with a runner at second base in Still. And the pitcher steps in. Roussel, who has an opportunity to drive in a run here for her own cause. And she swings underneath that one. Fouled that one off. So our cameraman, Jeff, who actually is the dad of the hitter right now, has said that if she hits a home run in this situation, he's taking Brad and I to Devrion's for ice cream. So I think that's worth it. Brad, I don't know what your flavor is over there, but I'm going to go Butter Crunch. And that's low. Nice lead by Still. So Brad said he'll go cookie dough. And she swings through that one for a strikeout. No ice cream for us. But with that, Goffstown manufactures 3 runs. And they now lead 3-1 heading into the top of the fourth. We'll be back. So we're back here at Goffstown High School with the Grizzlies leading 3-1 over the Keene Blackbirds. And number 7, Maddie Testo, will lead off for the Blackbirds. Changeup for a strike. You don't often get a changeup for your first pitch, which is good. So Jeff has been very nice. He's been sharing his combos with us. So we want to thank you, Jeff. Little bit high for a ball. And it looks like we have the girls lacrosse team here at the softball field cheering the Grizzlies on. Another changeup to second base. It's been a lot of 4-3 putouts. So the cleanup hitter, Ashlyn Clay, she also grounded to second in her first at bat in the second inning. And that pitch is a little bit low for ball one. That ball is crushed but foul. Into the swamp. I don't know if Mr. Rand is out there. I didn't see him jumping for that ball. So that ball was hammered but foul. Another changeup. All right, let's see what Clay can do with this one. Hits it. That's a base hit to center field by Clay. And I tell you, they got to be careful pitching to her because I think she hit it really well foul before. And then that was a nice line drive up the middle. So Andrea Persall with one out. That's grounded to third. Over to second. Nice play by Derry. Like, she just has great footwork, and she picks off the lead runner. Yeah. So nice job by Sam Derry. So in steps Alexis Yardley, who struck out looking in the second. And she takes strike one. So Persall is at first base on that fielder's choice force out. And that's a swing in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher for Goffstown. And that is Gerzone. If you say Gerzone, you got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. And that'll do it. So a strikeout for Alexis Yardley, and that's her second strikeout of the game. And with that, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Grizzlies leading 3-1. We'll be back soon. All right, bottom of the fourth inning it is, and number 12, Riley Boucher, steps in. She struck out in her last at bat. She takes ball one here in the bottom of the fourth. Grizzlies lead 3-1. Not a whole lot of hitting by either of these teams, but that's a strike. Both teams have manufactured runs on essentially errors by the opponent. You know, aside from a really good double by Kaylee Perkako, that's a pop-up to second base. And Boucher is retired. So as I was saying, like, aside from that really strong hit by Perkako, which was a double that went all the way to the fence, there hasn't really been, you know, a whole lot of hits in this game. So Addie Gerzone, number 9, is in. And she takes ball 1. That's ball 2. So, Brad, I got in trouble from Emily at the GTV studio. Like, she's talking in my ear. She said you can't mention Devrient Farms or something. So, about the ice cream thing. And that's ball 3. Oh. So, anyway, sorry, Emily. It came out. So, I'm on now they put me on a 6-second delay, folks. So, I'm on a probationary period. And that is a quick walk for Gerzone. And again, let's see what we get out of. So now number 17 is Rivard, right?
Now batting for Mackenzie Oliver and number 17, Casey Rivard.
So with Addie Gerzone at first, let's see, are we going to put any type of bunt on? Are we going to run? What are we going to do here? I want to test the catcher's arm. That's what I want to do. This is a good spot for it, too. And I'd swing through it, make her really work for it. Pitchers, I think it said like five balls. Yeah, so Rivard taking a few. That's a strike, though. So it's a 1-1 count to Rivard with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The runner at first, Addie Gerzone. That's popped out of play onto the roof, and it is going to stay on the roof. 1-2 count to Rivard. That's a pop-up to the pitcher. And the pitcher keeps it despite the fact that the third baseman said, I got it. But the pitcher was, you know, in her defense, she was literally 2 steps away from the ball. So, Ari Gerzone, who scored in the bottom of the 3rd inning after being hit by a pitch, and she takes a big swing at that one. I'm calling a hit right here. This is what I was talking about, Jeff, right? Like, you got it. Yeah. Well, I think the shortstop was late covering that, and had she been there early, I think you were out, you know. I think that she wasn't paying attention on that and wasn't able to get over to second. Now with the runner in scoring position, Gerzone puts another one on the roof, and that one is going to come off. So Addie Gerzone at second. Ari Gerzone hits it out of play. Nice at bat for Gerzone, fighting it off. Fouls another one off, and that was a real good pitch. It was low, good velocity on it. Brooke LeClaire on the on-deck circle. The pitch is high. It's a 1-2 count, despite the fact that Gerzone has fouled off about six, 7 pitches. And that ball is crushed. Will it go out, though? It's not. And that's a nice catch by the left fielder. That was Kaylee. No, I'm sorry, that's not Kaylee Percaco. I apologize. That was Elise Pratt with a nice put out there. So with that, Goffstown still leads 3-1 heading into the top of the 5th inning. All right, we're heading into the top of the 5th inning here with the Grizzlies leading 3-1. And at the plate is the pitcher, Persal. And she takes a strike. Just a little bit outside. Brad's complaining, but he doesn't have a good look on that one. Yeah, Brad's moaning. He thought that pitch was in there. And that's a nice swing by Persal, but she's a little late on it. So Persal is the only one who scored for the Blackbirds. And she walked and was able to score on an error by the Grizzlies. And she swings through that one for a strike, and that's That's the 5th strikeout. Maybe more. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pardon me. The 6th strikeout for Roussel. And Elise Pratt steps in. And Pratt struck out at her last at bat. And she attempts to bunt. Good job by both Derry and Boucher coming in hard on that bunt defense. That's one thing I like. You know, the defense for the Grizzlies is very sound. They're always in motion. Pitch is high. Bunt foul off the plate. So Elise Pratt has 2 strikes on her. So we have a very fun umpire here today who's requesting music from the press box. Actually, he's done a really nice job calling this game. And that's another strikeout for Sophie. That's number 7. And Olive Thatcher steps in, and that's her 288th strikeout of her career. Not that anybody's counting. That's a ball. So Thatcher went down swinging in the 3rd. A little bit outside 2-0 count. What was a really beautiful sunny day has kind of turned a little bit partly sunny at this point. 5:25 in the afternoon. That ball is going to be a tough play. Let's eat that one. And that's a smart play by Roussel. So it's a single. She had to eat that one because there's no way she would have had to play on that one. So Thatcher gets on with a squib, we call those. But it's nonetheless a hit. And this is where you got to be careful now because Percoco crushed this one to right center field. You want to play a little bit deep if you're the Grizzlies. Give up a single. Don't give up a double. Off speed. Fouled off. And Percoco just has some. She's really hit. Her and Maddie Testo have had good. And I'm sorry. And I apologize. Clay have had good swings off Roussel today. So we got 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And that's in there for a strike for an 0-2 count quickly to Percoco. And this is an opportunity here to, I would say, throw a garbage pitch. Sometimes you do that. That ball's hit to second. And a nice backhanded toss from Leclerc to Leclerc. Again, if you say Leclerc, you got to.
Is that Leclerc square?
Leclerc square. Yeah.
Leclerc to Leclerc is.
Yes, Leclerc to Leclerc is square. So with that, the Grizzlies still lead 3-1 as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. All right, we're back at Goffstown High School, and we have got a 3-1 lead with the Grizzlies over the Keene Blackbirds. And number 11, Brooke LeClaire, who scored in the third inning. She steps up. And close but no cigar, as they say, on that pitch for a ball. So Brooke LeClaire with the 1-1 count. No more heavy metal for the umpire. And she hits the shortstop. Nice stop, nice catch there by the first baseman. And that was Ashlyn Clay, had a great scoop. So a 6-3 putout with a really good scoop by the first baseman. So Emma LeClaire, who also scored in the third, and she hits one foul, almost takes out Dana Still. So Dana Still in that third inning, she did a nice pirouette spin move so as not to get tagged. Foul ball. Foul tip, but caught by the catcher. Nice play. So Persall looking for a 1-2-3 inning here, but she's going to have to get through Dana Still. And Still got on base on an error from the third baseman, and then was able to get to second base on a steal. So Still with an 0-1 count. So Still number 2 is another senior. And what do we hear? Suffolk University in Boston. That ball is hit to the center fielder, underneath it, and caught. So with that, the Grizzlies go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning, but lead 3-1. We'll be back in a few. are at the top of the 6th inning, with the Grizzlies leading 3-1. And at the plate is Testo. So we got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up for the Blackbirds in the top of the 6th. That's a bunt going foul. I'm sorry, 2, 3, 4. In our last at bat, Lounder grounded out to the shortstop. Change up, bunt, foul. Oh, 2 count to Lexi Lounder. And that's a strike.
Now batting for Keene, Maddie Testo.
And that's one more strikeout. I bark because that is a K9. That's how I operate, Jeff. Okay? It would change up for a strike. That was a beautiful pitch. The key question, Brad, is what type of dog will I bark like? Will it be a Chihuahua, German Shepherd? Not a Great Dane. Off-speed pitch, but Testo does not chase that one. So again, 8 strikeouts so far for Roussel, and here we are in the top of the 6th inning. Grizzlies lead 3-1. A little bit outside. So Testo, who grounded out to the second baseman, her last at bat. I think we have a 3-1 count. 3-1 count to Maddie Testo. And she's grounded out to third and grounded out to second. So she puts the ball in play. Got to attack this batter. And that is a foul ball, but by a foot. Now we got a full count. So like I said before, Testo has put the ball in play on her previous 2 at-bats. But another strikeout. That's a K9. 9 strikeouts for Roussel. So she gets the bark of the day. And Clay steps in. And Clay has hit the ball well today as well. She got on base with a ground ball up the middle at her last at bat to center field for one of the few hits in this game. Strike 2. Very quiet here at Goffstown High School. It's almost like, yeah. Change up, misses for a 1-2 count. Yeah, it's very eerily quiet. The even like the benches are, I don't get it. Ball's popped up but playable. to the catcher. Oh, wow. That didn't look pretty, but she made the catch nonetheless. So Addie Gerzone, and she deserves to smile on that one. She needed to rotate around a little bit more, and I think Coach said that.
It's a hard play.
It is, because the ball is spinning towards you.
You have to take the mask off. You have to locate the ball.
So with that, we'll be back in a couple. All right. We are here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Grizzlies looking for some more runs, and Derry hits one to left field, but a nice grab. So a sharply hit ball by Derry. Just hard luck there, because been a great play by number 2 for the Blackbirds. That was Elise Pratt. So you got to give credit to the Blackbirds. Their defense has been good. At the plate's the pitcher, Roussel. And she takes a ball. Evens the count, 1-1. Two-one count. That ball's crushed. Sharp single to left field by Roussel, and she'll get a courtesy runner. So a nice hit by the pitcher. That's O'Meara. Jocelyn O'Meara will take over running duties. It was Willie something, right? Yeah, yeah. So O'Meara is kind of like Willie Mays Hayes. Is that what you think? Okay. Yes. Straight steal. All right, so Finley Heath, the freshman, is up at the plate. In another 3 to 4 weeks, she'll be the sophomore. Heath was a little ahead of that one. Will O'Meara take off? And she's not. Snap throw to first. Safe though. pitch is high. So again, yeah, there's no stealing attempts here. Heath just smacks that one. Finley Heath, that was probably one of the sharper hits, actually back-to-back. Roussel and Heath have had the two sharpest hits of the day for the Grizzlies. So the catcher is at the plate now, Garzone. With one out in the bottom of the sixth inning, and that's a wild pitch that will advance the runners. I don't know about you, but I consider walking in this situation. That's a squeeze. Squeeze play. And there's nobody covering second, so heads up base running. Really, really heads up base running by Garzone. So we're hearing rinse and repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. So Casey Rivard steps in. That ball is hit well to center field. Over her head. That's going to score two here with a double by Rivard to break this game wide open. And Rivard with a double over the head of the center fielder brings in three more runs. Two more runs, but it's 3 runs in the inning. So it's a 6-1 lead for the Grizzlies. And a good timeout here for the Blackbirds as the Grizzlies' bats have come alive here in the bottom of the sixth. In steps Garzone with a runner at second in Rivard. Still one out. And that's hitting the hole, but a great play by the shortstop, but can't, you know what? I give her credit. That was a nice stop. Wasn't able to get the throw off, but that was a great catch off of a tough hop. Great athleticism by your shortstop, Lexi Lounder, on that one. So will they run on this one? More than likely, yes. So Garzone probably will take off. That ball's in the dirt. So you got Rivard at third, Garzone at first with still one out in the the bottom of the sixth inning. With Brooke LeClaire. And there goes Garzone to remove the force play. So we got runners at second and third for Brooke LeClaire. Down the middle for a strike. That was Purcell's 91st pitch. That's a lot of pitches. That ball's hit to third. Great base running once again. Oh, so a run scores on that one. So Rivard scores, and Garzone goes over to third on that. We call that a very productive out by Brooke LeClaire. So Brooke LeClaire gets a RBI on that ground out, but well executed by the Grizzlies as they pick up their fourth run in this inning. And that's hit to the second baseman, backhanded. Nice throw over to first. But the damage has been done. 4 runs by the Grizzlies in the bottom of the 6th inning to kind of blow this one open. 7-1 as we head into the top of the 7th inning. All right, we're back here at Goffstown High School for the top of the 7th inning with the Grizzlies leading 7-1. And we do have a new pitcher in the circle, and that's Mackenzie Oliver. And what Coach LeClaire did is he moved Roussel over to first base as a precautionary, we call that insurance, just in case you need her. So number 3, the designated player, Andrea Purcell, steps in. And she's put the ball in play twice so far as well. So Derry's playing in at third, about 5 steps. And Roussel's playing in, I'd say like 2 or 3. A little bit inside for Oliver. Full count. So full count to Purcell. And she hits it to the second baseman for a quick out. That has got to be like the 4th or 5th put out at second base today. So Lily Cooper that's in there for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Just a little high. 2-1 count. Your infield is at normal depth, and I'd say your outfield is playing no doubles. Nice pitch by Oliver. And that's strike 3. So collectively, that's 10 strikeouts by Goffstown pitching, 9 by Roussel, 1 by Oliver, and Keene is down to their last out. And the pitcher steps in. Low for ball 1. Swings through that one. 1-1 count. Fouled off. So now the Blackbirds are down to their final out. With a 1-2 count. To Purcell. I missed high, so it evens the count at 2-2. And that'll do it. Mackenzie Oliver strikes out Purcell for the 11th strikeout for the Goffstown Grizzlies, and they prevail in this victory over the Blackbirds by a score of 7-1, and a real good pitching performance by Roussel. And I would say on this one, really the floodgates opened up in that bottom of the 6th inning. For the most part, you know, Goffstown put up 3 runs early in that bottom of the 3rd, but that was done largely by errors, unearned runs for the most part, and but they earned 4 in the bottom of the 6th. So they will take a 7-1 victory over the Keene Blackbirds, and their record will now go to 13-4, and they've got a few more left, and how well they do over these next couple of games will determine, you know, where they stand in terms of the playoff picture. And I think you want to try to be in the top 4 if you can. And right now, I think they're in the 4th spot. So you've got Pinkerton, Londonderry, and Wyndham, who Goffstown has played and unfortunately has lost to. Those are very, very solid teams. But Goffstown played well today. Defensively, also played pretty well. There's one error in that inning in the 3rd, where Keene was able to put up a run on a throwing error. But other than that, clean game as well defensively. And with that, we're going to call it a day. I want to thank our cameraman, Jeff. I want to thank everybody at the GTV studio and our public address announcer, Brad Parkhurst. With that, we'll see you soon. This is our last home game. Barring, we're going to have playoffs here, obviously. And we will try to bring that action to you here at GTV. So with that, folks, Goffstown prevails 7-1 over the Keene Blackbirds, and we'll see you soon. Take care.